Just when you had thought you had heard virtually every defense to being a pervert, I can guarantee you ain't heard this one. Once again, our friends at the Daily Mail UK ran a story a couple of weeks ago headlined, get ready, "Trans woman is cleared of flashing her penis at Ohio YMCA after judge ruled she's too fat for her genitals to be visible." Okay, it's a mouthful, I know. Yes, her penis. Yes, hers. What, you were thinking that only boys could salute? Darren Glynns, aka Rachel, was charged by police with 3 counts of indecent exposure at a YMCA in Xenia, Ohio, by throwing his magnificence around the YMCA girls' locker room naked in front of younger girls bending over to pick up his drop towel over and over and over again. Just imagine it. I dare you. Darren anatomically is still all there, parts intact. In other words, no gender mutilating care for this big boy. The object of Darren's desire, YMCA employee Katisha Young, testified at the trial. She told the court that she was forced to get a restraining order against Darren after he sexually assaulted her. While I can fully acknowledge the suffering of the parties, I must admit, if you read the story, the pronouns in it are really amusingly all mixed up. Anyways, Katisha testified that Darren had grabbed her by the genitals while the two were at a local coffee shop. After the assault, and up until she got the restraining order against him, Darren would come by the YMCA and hang around whenever Katisha was working. In spite of the legitimate sexual assault claim, the judge still ultimately found Darren was not guilty of indecent exposure. Why? Well, the judge's reasoning is somewhat unique and I'm sure a legal first. He found Darren not guilty of exposing himself to the girls because Darren's lawyer masterfully argued that his hideous hanging fat rolls covered his genitals. Talk about a superpower of cloaking. Looking at Darren, if you notice the picture, it's a wonder he can find the little fella himself. Judge David McName admitted that there is no question that Glynns was in the women's locker room, but the judge explained, quite simply, the facts do not exist to support a finding of guilt, as charges Glynns' genitalia was not visible as a result of other portions of her body covering same. Yes, folks, sadly, I'm not kidding. The judge, who's supposed to be wise beyond Solomon, did say her. Mr. Glynns' lawyer must have been something else to pull this off. I mean, a magician. The judge didn't likely ask Darren to demonstrate his superpower behind closed doors. I'm pretty sure of it. After all, he had just had lunch. Apparently, the parts that were visible were enough to satisfy everyone that the morbidly obese defendant had ample overhang to drape over the flagpole. On the plus side, thanks to Darren, sex offenders now have a new defense. Why, only a year ago, when sanity was somewhat prevailing, Darren would have unjustly been put on the sex offender registry. But thankfully, not today. You see, today he's just as much a victim are his actual victims. He's a victim of vile discrimination, a victim of fat-phobic, transphobic, dare I say it, uber-phobic society that deliberately marginalizes special-shaped people who are unfortunately also trapped in the wrong bodies by a racist, phobic deity in the sky. I mean, after all, it would be simply cynical and phobic of me to think that Darren is just another run-of-the-mill, overweight, unattractive, cross-dressing, perverted peeping Tom, who's on board the Trans Express so he can simply get off on watching women and girls undress in the changing rooms at the Y. Yeah, that couldn't be it at all. Anyway, I thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Please post any comments you have in the comment section. You can also follow me on my Rumble on my Locals account. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. And like I said, feel free to comment and chime right in. See you next time.